Hey everyone, it's Brendan the Paleo Dude here with another Jurassic World toy review. Today we'll be taking a look at 3 new battle damaged Jurassic World figures that just hit Canada this week. So these figures were spotted in, I believe, the UK and Europe and a few other places, and now they've come out in Canada. So I've had the luck of finding these guys, and they're fantastic. When I saw them, I wasn't too big of a fan of the colors or diversity, but they've started to grow on me, especially that black raptor. So first off, the new sculpt is Gasosaurus. This dinosaur reminds me a lot of the Herrerasaurus battle damage figure that came out. This one's got very short arms in comparison though, and a large battle damage feature. It's got a boxy head. It's kind of reminiscent of a Tyrannosaur, though it was not. And this figure has a neat looking paint job, something very interesting. It's got these kind of zigzag like patterns on the head, these kind of little tiny dinky arms, and the color palette actually goes up the tail as well and has splotches and whatnot. So I love the details on that. And on the back here you have it roaring, and the 2 others. So Gasosaurus is a very nice and unexpected addition to the Jurassic Park toy line. It's cool to see that they're making some obscure figures, kind of like the Cyats Mecarorium. So now let's take a look at the Black Raptor. I know a lot of people have been looking for this figure, a lot of people want it. Back in the day, in 2018, the battle damage figures had painted toes. Not the claws, but the toes, and now these figures are kind of lacking that paint detail, which is a little bit sad. But if you take a look, all these figures have painted pupils. Now a lot of the figures that are released in the Dinorivals and this toy line don't have painted pupils, so it's cool to see that they're putting that detail in, at least, making up for, I guess, the loss of toes. And plus, I guess the color doesn't match what the people would be. So anyways, the Raptor is absolutely fantastic. Like, the mold that they used is one of the best Raptor molds by far. The rest of them cannot compare, as this Raptor is a lot skinnier. It's slimmer than the scratching Raptor, as it doesn't contain that scratching feature inside the body. And its tail is very straight, has a little bit of a curve to it, and the legs are the right length. It just looks very symmetrical and pleasing, and still having that amount of kind of action to the pose and movement. So let's take a look at the back of this one. It's got the typical pose. The box art again has like a screen appearance to it, and I love the plants and the fences in the background. For the Triceratops, it's got a very funky looking pattern. So along the body, you see a lot of these kind of like zebra stripes. You get some like cheetah and giraffe spots on it, and it's very nice. They really went all out with the colors on this guy. The end of the tail doesn't have any colors or details, because that's forgivable. The rest of the body has more than enough going on. Even the battle damage has some detail to it. But if you remember back to the first small Triceratops that was released, even the battle damage had that kind of airbrush of brown on it. So they're still paying attention to those details. I like these white horns. They really stick out. They stand out a lot. And this figure has gray ones, which is a little bit more realistic in my opinion. But I can see what they're trying to go for with the color. And the battle damage is really neat. It's such a large piece that when you press it, it just rolls down and reveals this very large chunk of flesh. So that's cool. I also love the stance. It's kind of like in a more battle position, ready to fight. So let's unbox these guys. Boop. Boop. Oh, the Gasosaurus was definitely one of my most looked for figures. I hit 2 Walmarts in my area and managed to find all of these guys between the 2. And I found those 2 figures first, and then the second Walmart, I didn't see this guy until I was about to leave, and then I realized there was one more figure fallen behind the shelf, and it was this guy. So thank goodness that I scored it. Its head has a very neat articulation. It's very fluid, They found a way to mold this perfectly, so it almost looks seamless. See, that is fantastic. And it's fully rotatable with a chomping mouth. The teeth are small. They painted the back of the mouth, which is really nice. Not the top, though. And the arms, of course, have full articulation and a decent sized battle damage. The legs can spread a little bit as well and go inwards. And here's the scan code. So let's see. Because I know a lot of my viewers love the scan codes. There you go. So yeah, very beautiful figure, and very nicely sized, a small, medium-sized carnivore. It's nice to see that Mattel is making more of those. So now let's take a look at the battle damage Velociraptor. So getting this figure out of the package, we can see the legs have poseability. You can bend them inwards, not really outwards too much. The legs are kind of loose. They have cogs that stop them in certain positions, so you can make this raptor stand in different ways. They kind of are mostly stuck in neutral though, but you can get it to stand in different positions. The arms can rotate outwards as they're on ball joints, kind of like a bird, and then they've got the characteristic raptor's broken wrists. And beautiful head sculpt, beautiful colors. I love the black and the gray. A lot of people are a fan of that. It's nice to see that they reused the battle damage mold again. Comparing it to these two other raptors, you can see it really adds to this lineup, as each raptor has its own characteristic look. This is one of my favorite blue figures, and to see that they made a more Jurassic Park-esque looking raptor as well as this black one, the lineup, it really does it justice. Like, seeing that this mold is reused and each time they make a great paint job with it. It's never a boring or dull paint job. So now, let's dig into the Triceratops. Let's get this out of the box. I like how there's just two little plastic ropes holding it in. So it's an easy, just cut the box and get it out. So here we got just the repaint of the Triceratops. The head goes up and down slightly. This figure, it's a little bit more harder. I'm not sure if that's because they used a different ball joint. It may just be less loose. You can rotate the legs back. The back legs are quite long. They fit into, again, one really big divot, and that's where they kind of stay, but you can pull them back and slightly forward. They do go out and in as well, and the arms spread like that. And then here we got the scan code as well. So there we go. This figure, if I were to rate them, it would be the Gasosaurus, the Gray Raptor, and then the Triceratops. I can't remember, did I do the foot on this guy? I don't believe so. Here you go. So I had to cut the video, so there. So basically, this lineup's pretty iconic. It definitely suits the 2020 figures, as a lot of them are just wacky repaints, and then some really neat and obscure dinosaurs as new sculpts, which I love. It's absolutely fantastic. And hopefully this line does come out to the States. Again, I'm not sure, as the last one did not. And that basically concludes my video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to leave a subscribe and a like if you did enjoy my content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.